speaking of Jeremy Lin, and aren't we always? Now that the Knicks have their point guard, bigs like Chandler and Amare, well, they're used to playing with point guards. We're wondering how Melo coming back is going to fit in. Before we get to that, though, the Knicks before and after Jeremy Lin's explosion onto the scene, 8-15, 8-1 since, 16-16, they have climbed into the Eastern Conference playoff picture. But let's flash back, Brent, and please take us back to those pre-Lin days when Mike D'Antoni was on the hot seat. They were calling Amare a $100 million decoy. Things were not going too well.
No, they weren't going well because the Knicks didn't have a position that in the NBA needs to be filled, and that's point guard. You see, we're showing some Carmelo plays here with him bringing the ball up, electing to shoot a three, and then isolation Carmelo on the side with a pick and roll, and you can see not much coming of it. And I can guarantee you, if Carmelo decides to play this way when he returns, there is a 100% chance that what's happening in New York all goes for naught, and that they revert back to the type of play that they had prior to Jeremy Lin assuming the starting point guard role for the New York Knicks. But if Carmelo buys in, they have more offense on the floor, they have more weapons, they have more things that defenses have to prepare for. The biggest question for me is you're adding J.R. Smith and you're adding Carmelo Anthony. What happens to this unbelievable Knicks defense that we've seen over the past 2 weeks? Guys playing for each other, helpers helping the helper, guys getting energetic to come down and try and stop teams. J.R. Smith and Carmelo Anthony have never bought into the defensive end of the floor in that manner for consistent amounts of time. They play defense, but not committed. If they commit to it, that's their chance. They have to buy in, and that's what Mike D'Antoni is talking about. Everybody come back, be healthy, and buy in. We've got a chance. So it's going to be very interesting to watch if Carmelo suits up against the Nets tomorrow.
Well, on Sunday, it was Smith and Novak combining for 29 points, but you think something has to give if Melo's back. I mean, we're not going to see that kind of a point contribution more than likely. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I think when you look at it, they won't get a chance to get these opportunities. They won't feel in rhythm because, you know, there's Carmelo Anthony. Let's throw in Amare Stoudemire. But when you get a chance to see what J.R. Smith brings to the table, and it's going to be up to Mike D'Antoni and his staff to see if all this fits. You know, J.R. Smith is unbelievable talent. He can get his own shot, and that's when you love about him because when it comes down to some games, he can knock down these shots. What they're doing now is what I think they should and continue to do if they want to incorporate Carmelo Anthony, Amare Stoudemire, along with Tyson Chandler. I don't think they can play all these three guys together because what you can do right now, if you have Carmelo at the 4 and say Amare at the 5 or Tyson Chandler, you get out and run. We got a chance to see Steve Novak, he's at the 4. Jared Jeffries at the 5. You see Jeremy Lin has the basketball, and that's Shumpert and J.R. Smith. What they're doing right now is running to the three-point line, a la Phoenix back in the day. Now Steve Nash kicks it out to Steve Novak. You see Dirk Nowitzki, he's a power forward. He is thought to run back to the basket because usually a 4 or 5, they rim run. This is Steve Novak and Jared Jeffries. They're not doing that. Jason Terry goes out to try to contest. This is where Mike D'Antoni has to be creative. Find a way to not have Carmelo Anthony at the small 4 position with Amare Stoudemire and Tyson Chandler. I think he has to use those guys in a different situation. They have to buy in defensively, but it's going to be his job to make all this mesh. He has some talent right now, and I think it could be work. I think that one thing is people got to understand is Carmelo's a top 5 player in this league. Wait to give it a chance.